Sydney and Adelaide, let's move on to this because they go head-to-head at the SCG on Saturday night. The Swans, well, they just look like they're going to miss finals now, whereas the Crows are in the top 4 and they look set and on track to make finals for the first time under their coach, Matthew Nicks. But what's got me hooked on this game is Jordan Dawson, the Crows skipper. What a season he is having so far. He currently leads the AFL Coaches Association votes with 54, 3 ahead of Cat star Bailey Smith. And Chad, what is it about his game right now that the coaches would be loving?
Well, the fact that wherever they put him, he dominates. I think that's what you have. You have a player that you can probably tag him in midfield, he goes forward, he kicks goals. A player that you can just move around like that and impact the game, that's why the coaches are loving him. And you think about one thing that hasn't spoken about much is his tackles. He's 6th in a comp for tackles per game. You wouldn't think of a player who's so classy and so skillful to be that high. So massive impact wherever he goes.
Josh, he comes up against his former side in the Sydney Swans, and we talked about the evolution of Jordan Dawson as a player probably about 6 weeks ago on this show. He is a very different player from then to now, isn't he?
He certainly is, and it's a good time to reflect on the trade. One of the great recent trades in history across the entire competition. Adelaide gave up a future first-round pick at the end of 2021. He came second in the best and fairest in 2022, and in that off-season he became the captain after just 12 months at that club.
Crazy.
And since then he's won 2 Malcolm Blight medals. He was an All-Australian in 2023. He's well on track for a Blazer, and I think right now he's well on track to become Adelaide's second ever Brownlow medalist.
Wow. Could he also be All-Australian captain? Because last year we saw Marcus Bontempelli get the honour. That was 2024. This is when the Bont was presented with the captaincy of the All-Australian team. Chad, do you think that Jordan Dawson's name should definitely be in contention?
Yeah, I think he'd be leading that race right now. You think about someone who's impacting the game, like I said, on many levels, but also the team's being successful, how much they've improved from last year. And that's, I suppose, speaks volumes to the leader that he is.
So Jordan Dawson, the Swans are certainly going to be wary of what he might be able to produce at the SCG. Just on the Swans, we've got to go back. I know that John Longmire stepped down as coach after another horror grand final loss last year. Dean Cox took over. He took over the reins, Josh. He said that what happened in last September, they've addressed it, they've moved on from it. But I can't help but keep coming back to those grand final scars and if it's actually still haunting them in some way.
Well, Nat, the curse of the grand final thrashing is real. History has taught us this, and we've been wary about this since September. But you look back to 1995, losing grand finals by 40-plus points leaves serious scars. The last 13 teams to lose by that much have failed to win a final the following year. Only 6 of those 13 teams have made finals the following year, including Sydney back in 2015, when they went out in straight sets. They lost by 63 points, of course, in 2014, 80 in 2022 and 60 last year. So this really shouldn't be a major surprise, although it does feel like a surprise. And Chad, at 4 and 7, it feels like Sydney's season is over.
Yeah, and I said that last week. I think Melbourne, that game against them, I thought it was do or die, and I don't believe they're going to be able to get back now.
You really do keep your receipts, don't you?
I'm pulling them all out.
Like,
Tax
I'm a
return
genius.
time.
Well,